Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Gamer Heroes. So I want to start this video by saying please excuse my voice. I got sick yesterday, my throat isn't feeling the greatest right now. So that's why it might sound a little different. I'll make sure to try and keep my voice level high enough throughout this video though. So today's video, what I'm going to focus on actually is going to be on the Forge boss. I wanted to show this team that I've created partly thanks to one of my viewers, Turtle Sheldon. He kind of gave me this idea for Guild Wars, but I thought it's actually really good also for Forge boss, so we'll try that out. But before we do that, I just wanted to do a couple of things, talk about some of the event that has started, Holiday Cheer. So I already did a video on the preview in the previous video, but there's a couple things. One, I wanted to do a quick correction of my statement from before, and that is, if you get the Ice Queen, which is the ultra rare card here, you'll notice that in addition to creating 2 Water Power Jet 4s, it also delays the enemy's turn by 3, but that only happens if there's at least 100 stacks of Spirit Intensity or more, and it erases it once it's done. And so what happens is, if you have multiple Ice Queens here, that means that once you use it the first time, the Spirit Intensity will be removed, and your other Ice Queen cards will not be able to delay the turn. It'll still be able to create the Water Gems, but now the delay of the enemy's turn option is not there anymore. So that means at any given time with this deck, the most you can actually delay an enemy is by 3 turns, and no more than that. Okay, so that's an important update I wanted to make sure I provide. And again, this is also another tip that was provided by Turtle Sheldon, so thank you for that. Let's see. So the other thing I wanted to quickly show is just the collection here. So this is something that they talked about. So if you kind of just go through the boss fights, just only in the solo fights, you'll collect these gingerbread, and then as you collect them, you'll be able to get more of these items. And something you can also get is this holiday guild gift. What that is, so if you get them, you can trade them with your guildmates. When you get them, don't just claim all, because if you open some of them, let's open a couple. What I saw is that some of them will contain actually gems. So let's open up a couple. I've seen some that contain, here it is. So like, anywhere between 5 to 10 gems. I got one that had 10 gems, but didn't get any that's more than that. So, keep an eye out here. So if you claim all, you might miss it, but just kind of opening it one at a time, the fact that it does give you both gold and gems, it's kind of nice to just see like what you get. So anyways, let's jump now into the Forge boss. So what am I talking about here? So what I did yesterday, I was just having fun, and I decided to just go after the two of the remaining 3 bosses that I haven't fought yet. And what I did was I brought in an entire team of my Vanguard Contessa, as well as Flameheart. And I thought that I could, easily defeat the Forge boss, but turns out the Forge boss will always auto heal after taking damage after 2 turns. And my Flameheart actually wasn't able to deal enough damage on one shot to take out the bosses. So I ended up taking about 15 minutes just constantly upping the enemy turn and not actually taking it out until like quite a few hits. So instead, this was the tip where if you use intensity and bring in a Frankenstein, you can actually have a much easier time. So this is the team I've got. I got my Contessa, plus I brought another in as an ally, and then got the Wicked Witch to boost my intensity, and then here's Frankenstein. Just a 5-star right now. I'm waiting for the bolt to come out, I guess on Saturday night, because they've now finally introduced the bolt as a catalyst that you can buy. And then the relics I brought in, the Jack-o'-lantern is the one that boosts the corrupt intensity, as well as the assassin blade. And the nice thing about the assassin blade is it also gives me red gems, which helps me build up my battle skill in the beginning. So let's go in and fight, and it just, it works out well that I'm fighting against Tiny Frost and Bite. which is a water hero, so it's kind of nice I get additional bonus damage against him. So the idea here is to just, again, this is going to be a little bit of a slow burn, so what you want to do is you just want to, again, I guess I am going to take one hit right now, so I will just, come back with a free revive. And you get the free revive if you're not in VIP, you get the video anyway. And so now that here, this is toxin, so it's not a big deal. Toxin just removes your ability to actually it removes your ability to heal using your skills, and so it doesn't actually impact you right now. And so you can, and now there's 9 turns of waiting, so I'm just gonna wait, and I believe there's also fear there, so it's not fear, it actually converts, it looks like this converts the earth gems into heart gems, so let's just go ahead and get rid of that as quickly as possible. Let's get rid of all the heart gems on the board. Okay. And at the very minimum, once this runs out, you won't need to deal with that again. So right now, it's actually okay, because the goal here is to just build up the intensity as high as possible. Like, you want it to probably be around closer to the 200s or so. So let's have it run out. Good. So now everything is done. I'm gonna start getting my green gems now without it getting turned into hearts. So let's go and start building up this intensity. While you're doing this, make sure that you're also keeping up with your fire gems. And what I want to do is I want to really just make sure that I start matching my green gems so that I can boost up the skill for, and you can see that, so you saw the full heal there because he took some damage, and you'll see again, so after taking damage in a couple of turns, he's going to cast auto heal, even though the enemy his turn has been delayed, he still casts this auto heal constantly. So if you can't deal the sort of the damage to take him in one shot, then you're going to have to basically do it again. Okay, so I think we're getting close there. We're at about 120 or so. Let's just keep building it up. I'm gonna build up the witch. Okay, and then build up the witch here, and then we're about 130 right now, 140, and then boost up again. So I'm gonna do it, I think I'm gonna wait until it's up at 200. I think that might be actually a little bit overkill, but let's just be sure. Okay. And so given that, I really just want to make sure that my turn ends as fast as possible to keep it going. You can see again full heal. We're now 250, so let's just keep going here. Okay. And we're now 190 and then 200. So then I think we can probably go ahead and just try and take him out now. So let's see. So now we're at 210. Let's see if we can take him out one shot. Okay, so with 210, it deals about 7.85 damage, and you can see it's just a little bit over half. So let's go and build it up again. And the nice thing is once the intensity has been built up, you can just kind of keep going with it. And so, and I don't believe that there is actually any limits to how much intensity you can actually go up by. And so let's just keep going here and see if we can do better. Okay, so this is actually interesting. I didn't actually try this. In my head, I thought that I would be able to deal a lot more damage there, but let's try this. So we're at 250. Let's boost this up again with the witch, and then just in case I forget, let's go ahead and bump up his turns again. So I think the thing with this sort of style is that if you've been having a hard time with forge bosses where you just cannot seem to deal enough damage on turn 1 or on turn 2 to take out the forge boss, I think taking advantage of the intensity here and just kind of letting it build up is a good way to make this easy. I mean, it takes a little bit of a time, so let's try now and see how much damage we deal. Okay, so I think just a little bit more, about 100 more intensity, and we should be good. So again, this is just make sure you just quickly go through turns then. So let's just focus on making our turn go fast now, so that we don't waste a lot of time. Again, just keep going up here with the turns here, turn counter. Okay, now I'm gonna focus on doing as many quick green matches as I can. Okay. And then one more time. So we're at 370 each now, go up to 390. Let's see where we are. Okay, so a little bit more still. Like I said, this is a little bit of a grind, but my excuse me, my Frankenstein is also just at 5 stars, and if it was at 6 stars, I think this would be a lot easier. Okay. We're at 410 now for intensity. I've always kind of curious how high I could get my intensity up as well, so it's kind of it's kind of fun just to try this out. Okay, 420, and then just do this. Oops. Okay. Let's see, maybe we bring it up to 500 and let's see. So let's get this up to 500. And just quickly go through the turns. $480, $490. Okay, so we're now at turn intensity 500. So let's see if that takes them out. All right. So if you can bring your intensity up to 500, I think I could have brought in an additional witch. I think that would have been a lot easier, would have been a lot quicker. So basically, if you don't have a Frankenstein, you can borrow a Frankenstein, use a couple of witches. If you have 3 contested or more, this is going to be a good option for you. All right, where you can actually just delay the turn, and you don't ever have to worry about losing, and you can just focus on hitting the just taking the turns as quickly as possible, like a lot faster than I did. I was doing a lot of talking while I was doing this, but there it is. This is a forge boss, and I believe you can do this with any of these with relative ease, especially if you have a guildmate that can level up the Frankenstein to 6 star. You'll have an even easier time. All right. So that's it. So with that, I finished all the forge bosses. But I mean, as new decks come out, I think it's a good way for us to use that to practice against the forge boss, just to see how it goes. So that's it for this episode. Hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I'll see you next time. Take care.